Hey y'all, welcome to Friday's Kitchen. Welcome back if you have been here before. In today's video, we are making a pumpkin spice pound cake with a cinnamon cream cheese filling. If you guys are interested in seeing how I made it, stay tuned. Also, while you're here, I ask that you please take a moment, look down below, consider pressing that subscribe button, join our family, and come back for some more recipes. Here we have most of the ingredients for the cake. We will be making a cream cheese filling that I'll do a little later. But at first we have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. We have 3 cups of granulated sugar, 6 eggs at room temperature, 3 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1 cup of pure pumpkin puree, and we'll be using 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. We started by preheating the oven to 300 degrees. In the bowl, we have the 3 sticks of butter. I'm going to turn the mixer on and then add the granulated sugar. Once I add the sugar, we're going to let the mixer run for about 10 minutes until the mixture becomes nice and fluffy and lightens in color. So I'm going to scrape down the sides again, and then we're going to go in with the eggs. I'm going to add the eggs one at a time. Once I add an egg, I like to wait for the yolk to break before adding the next. Then we're going to add the vanilla extract. So next we're going to go in with the flour mixture and the pumpkin puree. I'm going to alternate. I'm going to add about 1/3 of the flour mixture, 1/2 of the pumpkin, another 1/3 of the flour mixture, the rest of the pumpkin, and then finally the rest of the flour mixture. Alright, so we're going to scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl one last time. Turn the mixer back on for a few seconds. Then we're going to remove the bowl from the mixer and we're going to get started on the cream cheese filling for the cake. Now we're going to get started on the cream cheese filling for the cake. In our bowl, we have 8 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature, 1/2 stick of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. I'm going to mix all this together and then we're going to go in and add 1 egg and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, so let me go grab my egg really quickly. And I'm gonna eyeball the vanilla again, about a teaspoon. Now we're gonna mix until all these ingredients are well combined. And then we can go ahead and get our cake batter into the cake pan. This is the pan we're going to use to bake the cake. I'm going to coat the pan with butter and cinnamon sugar, and that's what's going to keep the cake from sticking to the pan. So I'm first going to go through with butter, spread that all around, and then we're going to coat with, here I have 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. All right, so our pan is coated with butter. Now I'm gonna go in with the cinnamon sugar, and we're just going to toss around. Here I can already see I missed the spot with the butter, but I'll just go in and spray that with non-stick spray versus trying to get butter in that one little spot. So we're just coating the pan all around. Just gonna put it in this one little spot. Go in with this sugar that I saved from earlier. And here we have it. The entire pan is coated. So we are going to start by adding a little more than half of our cake batter to the pan. All right, so let me go grab the cream cheese filling really quickly. Here we have the cream cheese filling. And I'm just gonna go place some dollops around the cake. I'm trying carefully not to place any too close to the edges, both the inside edge and outside edge. I'm just going to gently spread this out a bit, not very much. All right, so now on top of this, we're gonna go in with the remainder of the cake batter. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, the oven has been preheated to 300 degrees. This will bake probably for about an hour, 40 minutes. I'll adjust that time as needed, but as always, I'll let you guys know exactly how long it takes in my oven when I remove it. So I'll see you in the next clip. Here's the cake after 1 hour, 45 minutes in the oven. It smells so, so good. We're gonna let it hang out in the pan for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll be back to turn it out onto a plate. So now we're gonna turn the cake out onto a plate. I actually want this side of the cake to be right side up, so I'm gonna flip it over once and then back over again. All right, so we are going to leave the cake here to completely cool. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and get started on the glaze. We're gonna get started on the glaze. In our dish, we have 1 cup of powdered sugar. To this, we're gonna add a couple dashes of ground cinnamon, a splash of vanilla extract, And then we're gonna add enough heavy whipping cream to reach the desired consistency. I want this to be a little on the thick side. So we're gonna stir and then add more heavy cream as needed. All right, so this is the consistency I want it to be. I'm going to keep mixing off camera to work out all the lumps, and then we'll be back to finish the cake. Okay guys, so the last thing we'll be using will be the ginger snaps. I'm gonna take a few cookies out of here, crumble them, and then we're gonna sprinkle it on top of the cake after we glazed it. So here we have our glaze. Now we're gonna go on with the ginger snaps. All right, y'all, so let me take a second to clean up my mess. Then I'm gonna bring you in for a closer shot, and we're gonna cut the cake so you can see what the inside looks like. We have made it to the end of the video. Here we have our finished product, our pumpkin spice pound cake with a cinnamon cream cheese filling. Y'all, it is officially pumpkin spice season, and if you are a fan of pumpkin spice, I have no doubt that you will absolutely love this cake. It is really, really good. So much moisture coming from the pumpkin puree that is inside, and then the cream cheese filling with the cinnamon and the ginger snaps on top. 10 out of 10, I highly recommend this cake. It really is delicious. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. If you have any questions about anything I've done, leave them down below in the comment section. While you're here, I ask that you please take a moment, look down below, consider pressing that subscribe button, join our family, come back for some more recipes. Again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.